is day 65. We left this morning mile 733.8. Rough night last night. So we're beginning to think whatever Dad had was maybe not elevation sickness, but more a virus, because I got the exact same thing he did in the middle of the night. Got really bad shivers, couldn't get warm, put on all my clothes, was just sweating, and that cold sweat kind of thing. It was just brutal. My throat hurt yesterday, now it's on fire. And Dad, same thing, didn't sleep very well. His throat hurts now this morning. It's just all congested, and yeah. So the plan today was to hike down into Lone Pine, but we just did this little hill this morning that was like 2 miles, and it was the slowest we've ever done 2 miles in the history of this hike. Neither of us have any energy. We're like the Walking Dead coming up the hill. So we called Lone Pine and found a hotel, but booked it for tomorrow instead. I think we have 13 miles into Lone Pine, so we're going to try to get to a water source, I think in about 6 more, which would leave us, I feel like 5 or something like that. I don't know, I can't do the math right now, but 5 or something tomorrow into Lone Pine. I was just talking to Dad, and he said pretty much this is it. Lone Pine said he can't, the way he's feeling and the weight loss and the elevation and all the climbs so far in the Sierras, he can't do Whitney. Mom doesn't want to do Whitney. We Skyped last night, he got service, and she doesn't feel comfortable with it. I don't think he should. I don't know what I'm going to do going forward, because if I try to go on and I want to finish with Dad, whatever we do, and if he goes off and gets a flight or a ride home, we're coming home separately, and I don't like that. Like, I want to finish this together. But he can't do Whitney, and if I go to do Whitney, it's going to take me at least 5 days. He'd have to stay in a hotel for 5 days, at $90 a pop, so you're talking about almost $500 just to wait for me to come back. Plus, we're going to have the price of whatever mode of transportation we take home, so that's going to cost, plus probably at least one night in whatever hub the transportation is going to be. So no plans are for sure, except for Dad pretty much said this morning he can't. Lone Pine's got to be it for him. He can't go on any further. He's lost too much weight. And he can't do Whitney. The elevation here is already killing him, and Whitney's more than this. So I feel like it sucks to be so close. It sucks to keep pushing the mileage back and back and back and doing less and less. But what I learned through this whole thing is I wanted to do it with him. And he was going to leave a Cajon Pass. I didn't want him to leave. I'd rather go slow, which meant sacrificing the whole thing. But I was fine with that, to do it with him. So I feel like I got to stay true to that and finish this off with him. So there's a couple different options. I hate the idea of just like we limped in sick with viruses into Lone Pine, and that was the end of 750 miles. That seems just so weak to go through all that desert. It was just excruciating for that to be it. So we're going to get into service tomorrow and take a rest in Lone Pine at least for one day and look at all our options bus-wise. We were talking about possibly there's a bus that goes from Lone Pine through Independence to Bishop, and then from Bishop there's a bus that goes to Mammoth, and I think from Mammoth there's a bus that goes to Yosemite. So we were talking initially about hiking to Yosemite. Now that's way out of the cards, but maybe, and we can't do Whitney, that's way out of the cards. It's a big finish. It's like there has to be some kind of finish to this thing, some kind of cool something for this many miles, at least in my mind. I think he feels the same way too. So we were talking about if we can figure out a bus schedule to at least go to Yosemite for a day and kind of walk around the park a little bit just for a day, because I think any further you have to have permits and whatever, but just kind of walk around the area, take it all in, see the meadow and the waterfalls and El Capitan and all that stuff as our kind of grand finish. So it's not ideal, but it's still not bad. It is what it is, and it's more important to me to finish it with Dad. So, and the Sierras is just, the desert, everything's just beat us up, but it's so impressive for him to have done as much as he has done. So I don't regret a single thing. I don't regret a single change. It's just been hard to navigate the ever-changing landscape of what to do now. What am I going to regret later? Am I going to regret later? It's just hard to know. And I feel like, more importantly, I would regret the most not finishing with Dad after how much commitment he's shown to me to go through this. Like, we need to finish together and find a cool high spot to do. So we're going to snail crawl that trail today. Should be mostly downhill now. Get to water, hang out there, not do anything too big. Just hopefully have a real small day into Lone Pine tomorrow. So let's go. Okay, end of PCT day 65. It was absolutely the worst day on trail. Both me and Dad are feeling absolutely awful. We hiked about a mile at a time, and then would literally lay down and fall asleep for like an hour, and then another mile, and just on and on through the whole day. So it was brutal. I think we got to mile 743, something like that. So we did 9.2 for the day. So it leads us about 7 miles into Lone Pine tomorrow, which will be the last day. This is the last camp. Put around my tent there. Dad's setting up his there. It's insanely windy, so hopefully the tents hold on the last day, but if they have to go, the last day is the way for it to happen. So yeah, just a drainer of a day, just weak, tired. Dad talked to my uncle today, and he thinks it might even be COVID. So when we get into Lone Pine, we're going to see if we can find some over-the-counter COVID tests and take those and see if that's what it is, and then kind of decide from there what to do. It's hard to be coming to the end of it, being so close to Whitney, but I think it's the right decision. For just me and Dad, like today was just brutal, and obviously we're gonna get over this, but I don't know if it is COVID, it could be a 14-day deal. We can't spend 14 days in the hotel and then get back on trail, and it would just put us way out of timeline, and Dad's just done. So today was his absolute hardest day too, so it is what it is. I apologize for anyone that disappoints. I know when I watched a lot of the PCT videos, it was really disappointing to me when people got off trail, but it's just the reality, especially with my age and my situation. I miss my boys so much. I miss my wife so much. It's the longest by far I've been away, and it's just brutal. And I'm ready to get back. Dad's ready to get back. We've done a lot. It's an achievement. 750 miles is a big achievement, especially through the desert, especially at his age. So, yeah, we got to take all the positives from it. And we enjoyed all the time we had. It's the most time we've ever got to spend together consistently. So awesome. bottom line is I wouldn't have wanted any other way. I was excited when he first started talking about going, and it was more than I could have ever imagined to do it with him. So yeah, so I'll talk to you guys in the morning for the final day on the PCT. I'll probably film some after that just to see the COVID test and the results and stuff like that. So we'll talk to you tomorrow.